The 2021 draft class is an interesting one. It wasn't super recent to where we have zero expectations for these guys, but it has not been enough time to see where their careers might be headed. That's where I come in, because I've ranked every rookie that deserves to be ranked, and I've given them a letter grade based on how good they are at the moment, which is that's a lot different than like a redraft. So that's why I wanted to do this video. And we've already done class of 2023, class of 2022. This is 2021. We're gonna go back until probably 2003, I guess. I don't know. Or I don't know if we can go back to 2003 because only LeBron's playing. So maybe that won't even work. But every single letter grade has a point value attached to it, and then we're gonna put all those point values together. And with that, we can get a feeling to see about who the real good draft classes are currently, as of right now. A pluses are 4s, A's are 3s, B's are 2s, C's are 1s. They don't have any A pluses in this group. So starting off with the A's, we got Cade Cunningham. And Cade, I've been a fan of Cade Cunningham for a minute, since he was at high school at Montverde. 6'6" point guard, big dude, long, right? He could defend, he could pass, he was athletic, he could kind of shoot. Back in high school, I mean, everyone kind of shoot in high school, but he was a very good looking prospect. And now, obviously we had the Wingstop Pistons, and they were actually very like generationally trash. But he was like the one standing on that team where it's like, if you build around this dude, literally just let that guy cook. He could be something extremely, extremely special. I think he's on the same level as like LaMelo Ball, where they're tall point guards, but LaMelo is like slithery. Cade is like a brick freaking house where he will just run in, boom, he's strong, and he could dish it out, plays really good defense. He's not a liability on that end at all. But I think he's one of the best picks still for this draft class. Another guy I think like that is Jalen Green, who's obviously been playing very, very well. There were a bunch of memes with him back in February when he had his daughter, and he's dropping like 40 bombs every other day. This dude is a straight up bucket, and that's exactly what he was projected to be coming into the league. So I think they hit the nail on the head there with that, and I think he could keep going. The Rockets drafted Reed Shepard. They've got a lot of pieces like Jabari Smith, and Amen Thompson and Şengün, obviously. And so I don't know where he fits in that. I still see him at the top of that kind of the Rockets young core there. But I still think that he's a very, very, very good player. And he gets 3 points here. Only 2 A players left. The other one is Scotty Barnes, all-star, great guy. Just signed an extension in Toronto. He's leading that Toronto team, and he's looking like he could be a very big problem in a couple of years. I think they have to build around him a little bit more, but him as individually as a player, he does everything. He's long, he can shoot, he plays really good defense. He's been playmaking a lot more, which has been very, very cool to see. So, like I said in the intro, it's not been a long time to where we can see like, oh man, they've really like solidified into this specific role, but it's been enough time to where it's like, we have expectations now for him. We just need a couple more years to solidify that. Last A player that I ranked out of this draft class was Alperen Şengün, Jalen Green's teammate. He's a bucket, dude. I mean, he does everything. I think personally they should build around him. Center is a position that's coming back very strongly with Jokic, Embiid, Wemby, Chet, guys like Jalen Duren, guys like Bam are good. I guess AD's a center now. Zach Edey just came in the league. Like, there's a lot of good bigs who could potentially run the league and are currently running the league. I mean, just in general, look at bigs outside of like centers. Like you got Giannis. I guess AD I mentioned was a center, but he could be a power forward, right? Guys like even Kristaps. Every team has a good big, and so having Şengün is going to be very, very essential, especially in the Western Conference where you got Chet, Wemby, Gobert, Cat, all those guys out west. So Şengün, I think if he steps up his defensive level, he could be a very, very big asset for this Rockets team, depending on what. I don't think they have to make a choice on what route they want to go for the team yet, but I hope they go with him. I think he's going to be a very, very good option going forward. Okay, so after the first group, we have 12 points from the A's. Guess we got to see if the next 2 groups can actually like backpack this and kind of carry this for him. Starting off with the B's, I got Evan Mobley, who is he's been good. I don't think he's being used exactly correctly, and I kind of put this ranking on that a little bit. But we haven't seen what his actual full potential is. We haven't really seen any of these guys' full potential yet, but I don't really like where it's going. But he's definitely not C tier level. He's definitely good enough to be in the B tier. He's got great offensive skills. I remember watching him in high school. Great offensive skills. He's got great defensive instincts, kind of like Wemby, where he's long, he's very, very fast and agile on the court. And he can do a lot of things. He doesn't get pushed around by bigs a lot. If he could just stretch out and shoot a 3-ball, oh my gosh, we would have a problem, right? I think he would be like a smaller Wemby, literally. It's wild that we're comparing him to a guy who got drafted 2 years after him, but that's how good Wemby is. Let's just keep it above. But yeah, that's where Evan Mobley's at for me right now. Next guy joining him is Jalen Suggs. Just a solid guy. I'm not going to be able to give detailed explanations about every single player here. Like, some of these guys are just good. Jalen Suggs is just solid. Magic, I think, are a very good team. They got a 5th seed last year. I'd be interested to see if they can get higher than the 5th seed. We'll just see where they go. I want to see him break out because they've got a lot of point guards over there in Orlando. So I think him kind of breaking out a little bit and being that guy for them would be good, especially I think for Paolo, who maybe needs a little bit more of a playmaker. So, but Jalen, man, yeah, he's a good player. Jonathan Kuminga also got a B. I was gonna put him in the C, but I'm like, I think I put this in later in the season when he was getting more minutes. He shaved his head and he was just kind of going kind of stupid when he got a lot more minutes to play. That's all it is right now. Some of these guys that got drafted high kind of get in. They have their good situation around them and they get playing time minutes. Then you get guys like Jonathan Kuminga who don't really get the playing minutes that you need to kind of to flourish. As a Clippers fan, I was kind of sad that we didn't trade Paul George for Moses Moody and Kuminga, but it is what it is. I like Kuminga. He's a good guy, good player. Next up might be my I have a really big problem with this contract, but it's like with a new CBA, you kind of have to pay money to guys who maybe don't deserve all of the money in the world. Franz Wagner got an absolute freaking not a bag, not a suitcase, like something crazy, something way bigger than a bag. Just like imagine like a 48-gallon freaking trash bag. Santa Claus. That's the kind of bag that Franz Wagner got. Now he's good, don't get me wrong, but shooting like 25% from 3 and you got like $200 million. I don't like the fact that that's like okay, but it's what are you gonna do with their money? That's the thing. I just hope that he balls out in the regular season like he does in the World Cup and in the Olympics this year. He's been playing very, very well. He's been, I would say, leading Germany as of right now, but he's been playing very, very good. I mean, they're definitely gonna medal. I think they will medal 100%. And him and his brother Mo are definitely high reasons for that. Trey Murphy's up next. I mean, this dude is one of my favorite players to just watch. Like, he's just such a good typical 3-and-D guy. I think a couple years ago it was like, oh, Cam Johnson is like that guy. I don't know what happened to him. He got traded to the Nets and now he's just kind of like a no man's land. This is that guy. Trey Murphy's that new super long wing. He's in the freaking dunk contest. Like, he can shoot, play great defense, disrupts a lot of players. I think he can plug and play on any team in the NBA. Any team that wants him, put him in. Throw him in right now. I like guys like that. You need guys like that. That's why he's in the B. Now we got a point guard, Trey Jones. Solid. Nothing wrong with this. I can't say a minute for every guy. It's just Trey Jones is here. Good job. He's great. Now the guy Jalen Johnson, who he's been getting more minutes on the Hawks, and I think now that the Hawks moved away from Dejounte Murray and they're giving the ball back to Trae Young, we'll see how that dynamic goes because I think Jalen Johnson kind of emerges as their third guy behind Dejounte and Trae. So we'll see if he steps up even another level going into the season. I like him. Don't have a ton of expectations for him, but it is what it is. Now, this is 100% biased, and this is kind of stuff you got to deal with because this is my channel. I'm a Clippers fan. Bones Highland, I put it a B. That guy is freaking great. I don't know anybody who doesn't like Bones Highland, who doesn't like watching him, who doesn't like him as a person. You know, we brought in James Harden like 4 games into the season, and Bones was playing behind Russ, and Russ was going crazy. Bones was coming in. He was our 3rd leading scorer behind Kawhi, PG, and then it was Bones Highland. He was averaging 20. Now it's a 4-game sample size, but still, that's better than a lot of guys in the league, especially at his age. We bring in James, and we have Russ, James. Bones doesn't get enough playing time, but on the bench, I watched every single game. This dude is on the bench still hyped, going crazy. He comes in, still drops buckets. So I hope we don't move away from him. I think he has a very high ceiling, and not a very low floor. He still facilitates super well. He can shot create better than honestly 90% of the guys in the league. But Bones Highland, man, I want a Bones jersey. That guy, freaking love Bones. I consider these two twins, just like Trey Murphy. We got Herb Jones, kind of the same thing. Both play for the Pelicans, both long, both defend, both shoot. Kind of the same thing. This draft class, as you're seeing, we got a couple more guys in the B tier. We got 3 more guys in the B tier. A lot of like really solid role players, and that's kind of what you need from a good draft. Ayo Dosunmu has been popping off, and I hope that he can play because they got Zach LaVine, they got Kobe White, and so I don't know what the guard play situation is like in Chicago, what they want. They got off DeMar, but they got Josh Giddey, who we will talk about later in this pod. It's not a pod, why did I say that? I've been listening to too many podcasts. In the show episode, what do you guys, I don't even know what this is. Video, it's a video. But Ayo plays well, man. He's a big guard, he's very, very shifty, he could shot create. Once again, like Bones, like better than 90% of the guys in the league. Plays solid defense, just a solid guy. Another solid guy, Quentin Grimes. Enough said. Then we're running it out with Cam Thomas. He's a bucket, that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I got. Okay, so we got 24 points out of the B tier, bringing us up to 36. Hopefully the C's can bring us up past 40. Let's see if they can do it. First one, Josh Giddey, C tier. Let's just say, I wrote this before the trade, obviously. I do these months in advance, but I record them when I can. So, Giddey getting out of OKC is definitely better, but I'm just going to rate him based off this past season. Didn't really work out. I think if we're doing this video a year from now, next offseason, he could be up higher. I don't know if he's going to be an A, but he's definitely going to be a B. I think he could do a lot in Chicago. I think he's been a lot of fun for those guys who could just do catch and shoot, and he facilitates very well. He played phenomenal in Australia. I think he played really, really well. I mean, he was crying post game. Like this dude, he messed up, had some problems. I'm never gonna fault the guy for that. He says he's sorry. We move on. We watch basketball. That's all we gotta do. Okay. So he's been playing good. He's got good hair. C tier. Next guy's Davion Mitchell. I feel like he came into the league and was like, bah, bah, bah. Just like, what was his nickname? Like Mr. Off Night or something like that, where he was just sick him on your best player and he was shutting him down. He's definitely cooled off from that 100%. He's still very, very good defensively, but I need to see him more offensively. I mean, at this point, it's like, I'd definitely play Malik Monk over him coming off the bench. Now that you got DeMar there, you need to have options. He's got to do something on offense. Maybe Kings fans, let me know if you see something else, but that's what I see from him right now. But not bad, C tier. Once again, there are players that I just straight up did not rank. So, being ranked is better than not being ranked. If you're ranked, you're a good player. If you're not ranked, I don't even want to talk about you. That's all it is. Next up, Moses Moody. He's cool. Next up, we got Santi Aldama. Once again, he's cool. He got a lot more minutes this season because of the Grizzlies. Just their whole team just perished, apparently. They're coming back next season, so we're going to see next season if he's going to actually get some minutes. Yeah, he's a good player. I feel like I say he's a good player for like every guy. I need to like come up with different words for that, you know? Last up on the list, we got BJ Boston, and this breaks my heart because we let him go as a Clippers fan. I watched BJ in high school. He played my high school, and I went and filmed a highlight reel. A lot of you already know this. I talk about this all the time, probably because it was the best basketball experience I've ever had in my life, where I went to Millennium High School in Phoenix. De'Ron Holmes, who just got drafted by the Nuggets, who just tore his Achilles. Very sad. He was on my team, my buddy, and he was the reason he was goated. We played Sierra Canyon. They played an invitational, so we played freaking Bronny as a freshman, BJ, Amari Bailey, Zaire Williams, Zaire Wade. Like, there were five, and Sharif Cooper. A lot of NBA players on that team. BJ Boston was one of them. I watched BJ Boston during that game, and I was like, he's my new favorite player. Clippers drafted him. Holla freaking Lulia, right? Dropped 27 points against the Celtics one game when he starts. And then we just dropped him and let him go. So I don't know why we did that. Probably because we got Kawhi, left PG, but I'm not super keen on his future just because it doesn't seem like a lot of people want him. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. He seems like he's a very good player on the court. I'd love to see him, but in terms of his production, doesn't really have much production to show. Bones has a lot more than he does. All of these guys have a lot more than he does on the court, but he's there because he's high production, or high talent level, low amount of like work to show for it, I guess, in the NBA. Not allowed to go off of C tier. All right, that wraps it up. The C tier brought in 5 points, rounding a total at 41 for the class score. not our highest. It beats out the class of 2023, but the class of 2022 got they got 42 points. So I'm just testing out this ranking system. Let me know if y'all like it. But that's all I got. We got more coming out every single Wednesday. I'm trying to post every single Wednesday and Saturday. Saturday's like longer, more fun videos. This week we got a new series that's coming out that I'm excited to show you guys that I've been working on for a little bit. And then Wednesdays is more like the ranking videos and the stuff that I like to do. Just kind of, I just sit here and yap. That's all I got. Outside of that, we got new members only content up. If you want to go check that out, check the join button next to the subscribe button on the homepage. And then I stream every Tuesday and Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern time, 8 a.m. Pacific. Just come and hang out. That's all I got. We out.